You know how fast you were going?
What? How fast you were going?
I don't know. 10?
8.
Be advised, this is an explicit podcast, so if you're easily offended, get your panties twisted into a knot, turn this off before you get butthurt and mad, start to cry, have to run to your safe space. All opinions are those of the host and his guest and do not reflect the opinions of any government agency. Welcome, MOTORCOP Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, the Iceman. This is that time of the month again, unfortunately, is the end of watch. And I usually combine it with everything else and do some stories or something like that. And I don't know, I just don't feel right doing it like that, so I'm going to do it different. We're just going to do end of watch. So there was a 30-something this past month, so it's way better than last month with Super High. So we're just going to go over that. I may go into some little detail on some that died that wasn't from COVID. You know. So let's get the other stuff out the way. Like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit the little bell so you'll know when we do go live. This one isn't going to be live. Go follow me on Facebook. Also, share it. Help us spread out. If you listen to audio, if you happen to be on iTunes, give me a 5-star, write a review. I'll read it out. If you'd like to be a guest, best way to get to me is email me at motorcopchronicles@gmail.com. I'll also be in the description also. So let's get it started with, like I said, this ain't the most fun one, but I do it because I think it needs to be done. So let's get on with it. Put the music on. All right. October 1st, we had Senior Inspector Jared Keyworth from the United States Department of Justice from the U.S. Marshals Service. End of watch was Friday, October 1st, for an automobile crash. He was 42 years old. Been on for 11 years. I think he was vehicle collided with another vehicle near intersection 49 Mammoth Road in Florence. I think he was responding to where they were going to arrest somebody or something like that. We had Captain James Anthony Sisk, Culpeper County Sheriff's Office, Virginia. End of watch Friday, October 1st of COVID-19. We had Sergeant Nick Reisner, Sheffield Police Department, Alabama. End of watch was October 2nd. Mr. Reisner died from gunfire. He was critically wounded during a shootout with an auto theft suspect. The suspect had shot the passenger vehicle he was riding in, pushed him out of the vehicle on the street. The man then stole another vehicle and drove into the city. The vehicle was spotted by the Sheffield Police Department and pursued back into the other town. Sergeant Reisner used his patrol vehicle to block the suspect vehicle in a Walmart parking lot. The man opened fire at officers, wounding Sergeant Reisner and another officer. And the sergeant died at the hospital the next day from his wounds. So he was he'd been on the job for 8 years, and he was also a military veteran. Got police officer Darrell Wayne Adams from the Memphis Police Department, Tennessee. He died October 2nd, 2021. He was struck by a vehicle Him and some other officers were investigating a vehicle accident when he was struck and killed. He had 5.5 years on the force. He was 34 years old. We had Corrections Officer V. Melissa Maladeno from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Corrections Institute Division of Texas. End of watch was October 3rd, COVID-19. Group Supervisor Michael G. Garbo from the United States Department of Justice Drug Enforcement Administration. End of watch was October 4th. He died from gunfire. He'd been on for 16 years. He was shot and killed while he and other regional task force members conducted an inspection of an Amtrak train. And it says that it was over inspections for narcotics. So dope dealer shot him. Piece of shit. Corrections Officer Vassar Richmond from the Bartlett Police Department, Tennessee. And the watch was October the 4th. It was COVID-19. Corrections Officer V. Thomas Scott Cholera, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, Correctional Institute Division of Texas, Tuesday, October 5th. That was COVID-19. We had Deputy Sheriff Dale L. Wyman, Hardman County Sheriff's Office, Tennessee, and the watch was Wednesday, October 6th. He was involved in an automobile crash. He was 56 years old. He'd been on for 3 years. He was responding to a vehicle crash. He lost control of his vehicle. All right, this happened. The accident happened in August the 10th, 2012, and it paralyzed him from the chest down. And he had any constant medical care, and he finally died from those injuries in October. Officer Victor Donate, United States Department of Homeland Security, Customs Border Protection Office. Field operations into watch was October 7th. Cause of death was COVID-19. Corporal Timothy Michael Tanksley, Alto Police Department, Georgia, into watch Friday, October the 8th, COVID-19. Police Officer Dylan McCauley Harrison, Alamo Police Department, Georgia, into watch was October 9th. Cause was gunfire. He was 26 years old, had been on the force for 3 years. He was shot and killed outside the Alamo Police Department at 1 a.m. Suspect fled the scene and was arrested the following day. We talked about this story. He was working his first shift as a part-time officer with the Alamo Police Department. We actually had, me and Holster had talked about that one. This guy here. Y'all remember that story. We also talked about this one, Master Trooper Adam Gobert, Louisiana State Police, into watch October 9th. Cause of death was gunfire. He was shot and killed by a guy that had shot and killed some other people that night. He was arrested. He was he was getting close to his retirement. 20-something years he had been on. Master Deputy William Edward Marsh, Rowan County Sheriff's Office, North Carolina. End of watch was Sunday, October 10th. He died of COVID. Sergeant Michael D. Rudd from La Paz County Sheriff's Office, Arizona. Monday, October 11th. He died in a vehicle pursuit. He was 38 years old. Had been on the force for 8 years. He was killed by a commercial vehicle during the pursuit of a fraud suspect. So it was an accident. I'm sure the commercial vehicle was just part of the accident there. We had Deputy Sheriff Juan Miguel Ruiz of Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, Arizona. End of watch was Monday, October 11th. He died from an assault. He was 45 years old, had 3 years on. He was assaulted by a prisoner inside a District 2 station in Avondale. I think he had arrested somebody, and he was finished booking him and was putting him in a cell. I think he was alone at the time, and the guy attacked him, and he ended up doing some head injuries to him, and he died the next day in the hospital. Detention Officer Anthony Nicoletti, Mohave County Sheriff's Office, Arizona. End of watch was October 11th. He died of COVID. Lieutenant William Oscar McMurtry III, Burke County Sheriff's Office, North Carolina. End of watch was Monday, October 11th. He died of COVID. Correctional Officer 4. I'm gonna mess this man's name up, but it's Tomela Scalen, I believe, from Fresno County Sheriff's Office, California. End of watch Tuesday, October 12th. Cause of death was gunfire. He was 46. He had 18 years on. He's come to gunshot wound sustained September 3rd. He was responding to an active shooter inside the lobby of the main jail. The suspect had entered the lobby and attempted to cut to the front of the visitation line. When he was told to go to the back of the line, he walked towards a metal detector leading to the jail secure area. The officer and another officer, who were both unarmed, attempted to get the man to sit down. The man produced a handgun and shot both officers in the head before being subdued over just wanting to cut in line. Deportation Officer Bradley K. Cam, United States Department of Homeland Security, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Tuesday, October 12th, COVID-19. Police Officer Ty Allen Powell of Windsor Police Department, Colorado. End of watch was October 13th. He died of COVID. We have Command Sergeant Richard Arnold McMahon, Columbus Police Department, Georgia. End of watch was October 13th. He died of a heart attack. Deputy Sheriff Oliver Little, Floyd County Sheriff's Office, Kentucky. End of watch was October 13th. He died of COVID. Sergeant Rachel Virginia Saunders, Amarillo Police Department, Texas. She died Wednesday, October 13th from COVID. Sergeant William Warren Gay, Bibb County Sheriff's Office, Georgia. And the watch was Thursday, October 14th. He died of COVID. We had Deputy Constable Kareem Atkins of Harris County Constable's Office, Precinct 4 in Texas. End of watch was October 16th. He died of gunfire. Deputy Atkins was 30 years old, and he had 2 years, 9 months on. He was shot and killed from an ambush while arresting a robbery suspect in the parking lot of a sports bar. He and 2 other deputy constables were working a secondary employment. They were working a detail at a restaurant when the patron informed them of the robbery in the parking lot. So, unfortunately, he was shot and killed by a bad guy. Detective Rodney L. Moneyham, Denton Police Department, Texas. End of watch was Saturday, October 16th. He died of COVID. Police Officer Andy Shinero, Hollywood Police Department, Florida. End of watch was October 17th. He died from gunfire. He was 28 years old. He had 4 years on the job. He was shot and killed after responding to reports of a suspicious person pulling on the door handle in the 4000 block of North Hills Drive at about 10:30 p.m. The man began struggling with the officers when they attempted to detain him. He drew a concealed handgun and shot Officer Shinero during... I'm sorry. Stuff pop up. He said during the struggle, officers were able to take him into custody and then rendered aid to the officer. He was transported to the hospital but succumbed to his wounds a short time later. Of course, bad guy, is going to get charged and, gets to live out his days in jail or possibly get out. Police Officer Ryan Andrew Hayworth, Knightdale Police Department, North Carolina, end of watch was October the 17th. He died from a vehicular assault. The young man, 23 years old. He only been on the job for 3 months, and he was a military veteran. He was killed when his patrol car was struck from behind by a suspected drunk driver. He says, Mr. Hayworth and his training officer were on the scene of a single vehicle crash when their patrol car was struck by the other vehicle, which failed to move over or reduce its speed. Officer Hayworth suffered fatal injuries in the collision. His training officer, as well as the original accident victim and suspected drunk, were all seriously injured. He was a U.S. veteran and served at, you don't say where he served his military at, and said he is survived by his father, mother, and brother, and 2 stepbrothers. His father was a retired police chief also. Tragic there. I mean, a very, very young man over an idiot drinking and driving. Police Officer Andrew Robert McDonald, Grand Prairie Police Department, Texas, end of watch was October 18th. He died of COVID. Investigator Tracy Joe Dotson, Dallas County District Attorney's Office, Texas, end of watch was Tuesday, October 19th, COVID. Trooper Ted L. Benda, Iowa State Police in Iowa, of course. End of watch was Wednesday, October 20th. He died of a automobile crash. He was 37 years old, had 16 years on the job. He died 6 days after he was involved in a single vehicle crash. So he was responding to assist other deputies on a wanted suspect. Looks like he crashed. So just a tragic accident there. Corporal Miguel Rodriguez, Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. End of watch was Thursday, October 21st, COVID-19. Deputy Sheriff Joseph J. Weigel, Sarah Costa County Sheriff's Office, Florida. Thursday, October 21st, he died of COVID. Sergeant Michael David Dunn of Amarillo Police Department, Texas. End of watch Friday, October 22nd, COVID. And Police Officer Stephen Evans, Burns Police Department, Kansas, end of watch Monday, October 25th. He died in an automobile crash. Officer Evans was 44 years old. He had 16 years, 4 months on the job. He was attempting to make a U-turn when his patrol car was struck by an oncoming vehicle. He died. Another tragic accident there. Police Officer Tyler Timmons of Pontoon Beach Police Department, Illinois, end of watch was October 26th. He died from gunfire. He was 36 years old, 15 years, 6 months on the job. He was shot and killed while investigating a stolen vehicle in a parking lot of a Speedway gas station. He was approaching the pickup truck when a subject opened fire on him, fatally wounding him. The subject who shot him was arrested by other officers. Officer Timmons was taken to the hospital after being transferred, and he died some short time later. He had served at that police department for 18 months. He had previously served with the Roxanne Police Department, Warden Police Department, and Hartford Police Department for 14 years. He's survived by his wife and his stepdaughter. Police Officer Thomas Christopher Hutchison of Holton City Police Department, Texas, end of watch was October 27th, cause COVID-19. Staff Sergeant Jesse Sorrell, New Hampshire State Police, end of watch was October 28th of an automobile crash. He was 44 years old, 20 years on the job. He was providing assistance to a work crew that was installing rumble strips on the shoulder when his patrol car was struck from behind by a tractor trailer. Some truck driver with his head up his ass ended up killing this man. Correctional Officer Isaac Herrera, or Bernalillo County Metropolitan Detention Center, New Mexico. End of watch was October 31st. That was COVID-19. At least we did not have any canine fatalities this past month, which is also a good thing. The numbers were down for this past month. It was a total of 40. I thought it was 30 something, but October was 40. Last month was 76. August was 78. So at least it did go down. We still had a lot of COVID deaths. Total for the year so far is 257 law enforcement COVID deaths that were reported anyway to this site. So, but those are the people for October. Unfortunately, still way too many. There was a lot of people killed in automobile accidents and shot. And you didn't hear those on the national news, did you? Nope. So, just keep all them people in our minds and the families and everything else. A lot of them, died serving the public that a lot of public that don't even like us. So come back Wednesday. It won't be so blah like these are, but got to do the blowing sometimes. Get them out there. So, like I said, if you want to be a guest or something, email me. Come back Wednesday. It'll be a much more lively show. So until then, watch your back, watch your partner's back, be safe, and remember to smile because Iceman could always be behind you.
Market and Lamar. Assist officer, shots fired. Okay, code 3, stay off the radio, officer down. Shots fired, officer down, it's an assist officer. We just don't know where the suspect's at. Saying the suspect has a rifle. Out here, we got a guy with a long rifle, we don't know where the hell he's at. Garage. Slow down, he's in the damn building right there. I don't know where he's at, he's in that building, we're hearing shots from that building. We got a suspect down. We're shot fire, officer down, shot fire, officer down. Got a city officer down, shot fire.
That just makes it through it all. This is my last call. I'd ask her to forgive me. Tell her I'm sorry. That I can't be the man that she's gonna be. Tell her I'll be waiting where the winter meets the fall. This is my last call. Tell my children that I love them. Oh yeah, that daddy always loved them so. Tell them to hold their mother tight and to never let her go. Tell them I'll always be watching, looking over them through it all. This is my last call. Tell him to fight for me. Do what's right for me. Choose the light for me. But don't ever forget me. Tell them I'll always be watching, and I'll be there when they fall. This is my last call. For those who serve beside me and who held that thin blue line, stand tall. saved a few good lives, but I couldn't save my own. This is my last call.